And what? And what are you gonna do?
Well, you know, when I started writing poetry, it actually wasn't because of some deep-rooted love of poetry. It was because I went to a poetry reading and I heard a bunch of poets and I thought, what in the world has happened to poetry? Like, there's so much that we could do, there's so much that we can say, and I felt like this was a long time ago, but I felt like there was this romanticization of an idea of how a poet was supposed to sound, or what we were supposed to express, and how we were supposed to express it. And I thought of it also in terms of technology, the technology of awareness, and was thinking, I was asking myself a lot of questions about my upbringing and what I was going to perpetuate or not perpetuate in my life, and also felt like there had to be some way of streamlining these ideas. I was thinking in terms of, I guess, algorithms, you know? Algorithms, you know, like...
formulas.
Yeah, formulas. I had studied philosophy and I was essentially working out a series of proofs to try to, like, get to the root of whatever it was that I was feeling, but not really clear on how to articulate. And when I encountered the poetry, I thought, maybe, because although I may have been kind of dismayed by, you know, the idea of someone sounding like Sonia Sanchez, you know, but it's 30 years later, you know, like all this stuff, I did feel like the place was really open. It was an open mic, and I knew that if I had something to share, I could share too. There was nothing restricting that. Yeah. Well, it's funny now. I would say that young poets right now have a slightly greater challenge than I did, because they actually can eat and ingest a lot of poets and spoken word artists, and thus regurgitate a style or something that they've encountered that spoke to them. Whereas for me, I didn't have YouTube.
Yeah.
And I wasn't encountering a lot of stuff that I was enjoying, so I was forced to try to do the sort of thing that I would enjoy. And that's what I would encourage others to do, is sometimes it's wonderful to just tune out, because the stage is cool, but the stage is not that important. You know, the most important thing is, how are the words coming through your mouth affecting the way you choose to live your life, the way you choose to communicate with your loved ones and people you don't know, and your elders and your family. How much courage do you have to challenge your family on things that you were raised to
follow sometimes?
Yeah. It's about that. It's about that, challenging yourself. And right now, as we circle around questions of identity and all this stuff, and we all have these ideas, and these ideas coming at us, and these timelines that we browse, there's millions of beautiful ways that poetry can engage and connect and disrupt. He's one of many young artists that I enjoy and appreciate.
Yeah, I think he's amazing.
There's lots of young artists that I enjoy and appreciate. I don't, you know, like, I think people have this weird idea that if you do a particular thing, you only like people who do the thing the way you do it.
Yeah.
Like, you can't appreciate people who approach it differently.
Yeah, definitely.
You know? And so there's been many artists, and so I guess in that time period I was talking about that, but there's tons of artists who who I find interesting. And there's also tons of art in the commercial realm that I find manufactured and overly manufactured. And that's true too. So you're watching AndWhat TV. And what? And what are you gonna do? And what are you gonna say? And what